Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're studying Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto, and the ladies of Hastinapura have gone to the roof, and they're seeing Krishna is leaving, and they're feeling already separation. And so they're offering ecstatic prayers. We pick up Sabha ayang sakyanugita satkato Vedeshu kuhyeshu chaguhyabad bihi Ya eka isho jagat atma lilaya Srijati avati atina tatra sajjate. Please repeat. Oh dear friends, here is that very personality of Godhead, whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literature by his great devotees. It is only he who creates, maintains, and annihilates the material world, and yet remains unaffected. So yes, these pastimes of Krishna, Krishna Katha, are very attractive, but they're confidential. So you have to know where to look. That's why this Srimad Bhagavatam is so special. It's full. There's nothing but Krishna Katha in Srimad Bhagavatam. And yes, it is the devotees. That's the duty of a devotee. That's the symptom of a devotee. There is this stage just before love of Godhead, bhava. So there are 9 symptoms of bhava, and one of them, you're always eager to describe Krishna's name, fame, form, pastimes, entourage, characteristics. You love Krishna so much, you're eager. And it is he only. So yes, even though Krishna empowers Brahma to create, Krishna empowers Lord Vishnu to maintain, and Krishna empowers Lord Shiva to destroy. He is their agent. They are Krishna's agents in terms of dealing with the material world, and yet Krishna always remains untouched, unaffected. Even when he descends on earth, he always remains unaffected. Let's go to the next verse. Yadahi adharmena tamodiyo nirpa jivanti tatraisha hi satvata kila date bhagam satyam ritam dayam yasho bhavaya rupani dadhad yuge yuge. Please repeat. Whenever there are kings and administrators living like animals in the lowest modes of existence, the Lord in his transcendental form manifests his supreme power, the truth positive, shows special mercy to the faithful, performs wonderful activities, and manifests various transcendental forms as is necessary in different periods and ages. So this reminds us of Bhagavad Gita. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. Krishna comes in order to deliver the pious and to chastise the wicked. He comes to establish real religion, or as it says here, the truth positive. And although Krishna himself only comes once in a day of Brahma, which was only 5,000 years ago, prior to Krishna, he had so many previous incarnations like Ram, Vamana, and so many. And not only that, Krishna also sends his representatives, his devotees, to preach. So Krishna is always trying to deliver the fallen conditioned soul. Next verse. Aho alang shlagatamam yado kulam. Aho alam punyatamang madhor vanam. Yad esha pungsang rishabha sriya pati. Swajanmana chankramanena chanchati. Please repeat. Oh, how supremely glorified is the dynasty of King Yadu, and how virtuous is the land of Mathura, where the supreme leader of all living beings, the husband of the goddess of fortune, has taken his birth and wandered in his childhood. So yes, Krishna took birth in the Yadu Vangsha, coming from Soma, the moon god. Ramachandra appeared in the Raghu Vangsha, coming from the sun dynasty. But the residents here are saying this Mathura Vrindavan is glorious. Why? Because look, he's the supreme leader. He is husband of the goddess of fortune. Everybody say, Madhava. And has taken birth. But we learn from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am Aja. I am actually unborn. Why? As I said earlier, before there's a creation, Krishna is existing. So even Kunti in her prayers said, the unborn is taking so-called birth. We studied that some months ago. The unborn, Krishna, seems to be taking birth. We see the night of Krishna's appearance. Krishna appeared as Narayan and told Vasudeva and Devaki, I am appearing like this because if I had appeared just as an ordinary human child, you wouldn't understand. And Krishna said at that time, this is the third time I'm taking birth as your son. Before you were Prishni and Sutapa, I took birth as Prishni Garbha. Then before this birth, you were Aditi and Kashyapa, and I took birth as your son, Vamana. Now this is the third birth, Vasudeva and Devaki, and I am appearing in my original form as Krishna. So it appears, because then he changed himself to look like an ordinary baby, and that ordinary baby was taken by Vasudeva and exchanged with the girl born to Yashoda. So Krishna looked like an ordinary human child. Aho Bhattaswar Yashasas Tirakskari Kushastali Punya Yashaskari Bhuva Pasyanti Nityam Yad Anugraheshitam Smitava Lokam Swapating Smayat Praja. Please repeat. It is undoubtedly wonderful that Dwaraka has defeated the glories of the heavenly planets and has enhanced the celebrity of the earth. The inhabitants of Dwaraka are always seeing the soul of all living beings. Krishna, in his loving feature, he glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. So here they are glorifying that, yes, because that's where Krishna is going. He's leaving Hastinapur, he's going to Dwarka. So they're understanding, oh, Dwarka is so great and greater than the heavenly planets. People in the material consciousness think, oh, let me go to heaven and enjoy. But the residents of Hastinapur, no. Dwarka has defeated the opulence of the heavenly planets. After all, Krishna had 16,108 palaces, and there were 16,108 Krishnas living in each palace simultaneously. And they are seeing the soul of all living beings. Yes, we are all part and parcel of Krishna. And we are seeing Krishna in his loving feature. Bhagavad Gita says, those who do not accept Krishna as God, how do they see Krishna, Rama? No. Mrityu sarva haraschaham. I'm talking about the atheist. How does the atheist see Krishna? Death. Yes. That's not his loving feature. Horrible death. No. But if you're a devotee, just look how nice Krishna is. You go to some temples and the god or goddess has a very fearsome form. But when we go to Krishna temple, nice, playing. Who with the flute is going to harm anybody? He's so beautiful, so attractive. Krishna is his loving feature. That's why we like Krishna. He's the loving God. He's not this, I will smite thee down. There are passages in the Bible. God is viewed as very angry and vengeful. But in our scriptures, Krishna, very loving, sweet. That's my kind of God, the love God. After all, he's the new Cupid. He is a love God. He's the spiritual. And he glances at them and favors them. So when we look at the deity, we're getting Krishna's darshan. So Krishna is glancing at you. Because it's not a statue, right? A statue can't glance at you. But a deity, the form of God, that can glance. All right, we'll do more, and then Nimai Charan, you will sing. Get ready. Nunang vratasnana huta dineshvara samarchito hyasya grahita panabihi pibanti yasaki adaratmritam muhur vrajastriya sammumuhur yad ashaya. Please continue. Oh friends, just think of his wives whose hands he has accepted. How they must have undergone vows, baths, fire sacrifices, and perfect worship of the Lord of the universe, to constantly relish now the nectar from his lips by kissing. The damsels of Brajabhumi would often faint just by expecting such favors. So here we have some more detailed, intimate knowledge of God. Very intimate. So yes, Krishna accepted. I just finished recording the story of how Krishna killed Bhaumasura, his own son. Yes. And then he freed the 16,100 princesses that Bhauma Asura, what he did, he kidnapped unmarried girls of the demigods, of the siddhas, of great saints and saint rishis. He kidnapped them and put them in prison. So when Krishna rescued, he killed Bhaumasura, the girls were all looking at him. And Krishna said, what do you want? And they said, well, we have been kidnapped. Nobody will accept us now as wives. So Krishna said, so? And they said, we want you. And Krishna said, okay, come on. And Krishna accepted. Not out of his own, but to deliver them, to give them the mercy at their request. He had no intention. But when they requested, you please marry us, Krishna obliged, yes. And so what happened was, Krishna took all 16,100 queens, took them to Dwaraka, put them in their each palace. Then he expanded himself to 16,100 because he already married the original 8. And Devaki and all the relatives were also manifested in each of the 16,100 palaces. And in each palace, there was a wedding ceremony. Proper Hindu wedding ceremony, not Hindu, but Vedic ceremony. 16,100 Krishnas. That is God. Can do things inconceivable. So what do they do? They get to relish the nectar from Krishna's lips. So yes, God kisses. He's a person. This is what Bhagavatam is pointing out. He's a person. He has lips. And with his wives or the damsels of Braja, they engage in kissing. Beautiful. All right, we'll stop here. Everybody chant the Maha Mantra.